Good afternoon and welcome to Boston Asian Radio and TV English Daily News today. I am your host, Lei. Here's a look at the top stories making headlines today. Homeless man living in parking lot stabs gem customer in locker room. Governor Healey tours flooding damage in Western Mass. Huge Dorchester Bay project wins key approval. BPD, Wu pledge to increase women on police force by 2030. State to expand welcome centers for homeless and migrant. Homeless man living in parking lot stabs gem customer in locker room. A 28-year-old is accused of stabbing a 43-year-old man in the chest at a Planet Fitness gym in Gardner, Massachusetts. Police responded to the Planet Fitness on Victoria Lane in Gardner around 10:20 a.m. Wednesday and found the man suffering from a stab wound to the chest. The victim was airlifted by helicopter to UMass Memorial Medical Center in Worcester for treatment. Gardner police said the suspect, identified as Lennox Muniz, with a last known address of Revere, was stopped by state police near Interstate 190 in Leominster. State police said they recovered an edged weapon in Lennox's vehicle. Lennox was charged with assault and battery with a dangerous weapon and was scheduled to face a judge later in the day. Governor Healey tours flooding damage in Western Mass. The heavy rains that devastated Vermont yesterday also caused flooding in western Massachusetts, leading to many issues for local farmers. Governor Healey spent the morning speaking with residents and touring the damage. "People are hurt here," said Governor Healey. "They are really hurt and we are making sure we are doing what we can for those folks." She is still unsure if Massachusetts will be given any federal funding. The flooding in western Massachusetts has concerned many farmers who live and work in the area. One local farmer, Tim Norse, said, "I think that anything that's underwater, at this stage of growth, it's a major impact." Flood warnings are still in effect for those who live along the Connecticut River in western Massachusetts. Huge Dorchester Bay project wins key approval. The mammoth $5 billion, 21-building Dorchester Bay City project on Columbia Point cleared a key hurdle Tuesday, winning approval from Boston's Architectural Review Board ahead of an expected vote from the Boston Planning and Development Agency later this summer. It's been 4.5 years since the UMass Building Authority tapped real estate development firm Accordia Partners and Ayers Capital Corp. to develop the 20-acre former Bayside Expo Center site, alongside University of Massachusetts Boston's campus, in a move former interim chancellor Catherine Newman at the time called an extraordinary game-changer for the school. Accordia and Ayers in 2019 agreed to pay $235 million for the site's ground lease and plan to develop up to 3.5 million square feet. BPD, Wu pledge to increase women on police force by 2030. The Boston Police Department announced Wednesday their participation in the 30x30 pledge, a national pledge to increase the number of women in police recruitment classes to 30% by 2030. The BPD is one of more than 325 departments across the country who have taken the pledge. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu said this will help the police department represent the community it protects. The fact that nationwide, women make up just 12% of active duty officers and just 3% of leadership of departments is not only an equity issue, it is a public safety issue as well, Wu said at a press conference Wednesday. "When it comes to assuring our residents are and feel safe in our city, those who serve must reflect the people in the neighborhoods that we serve." State to expand welcome centers for homeless and migrant. As more homeless and migrant families in need of shelter and other assistance arrive in Massachusetts, the state's Office for Refugees and Immigrants is planning to open more central entry points in the coming weeks to allow more families to receive resources. The new arrivals to Massachusetts, many of whom are fleeing political strife, street violence, and economic collapse in their home countries, are turning up at places like BMC, at all hours in need of a place to sleep. The family welcome centers, the Healey administration said, will help ease that strain and give people more direct access to resources. Massachusetts is a right-to-shelter state, meaning the government is obligated to provide care for some homeless families, including migrants. Stay tuned for more updates on Boston news as it develops.